Okay, I'm sorry I cut myself off. So free space does not exist here. We have a building and things are attached to it. Okay, so if I take a picture of that right there. All right, that right there, that star. And you can see there's many of them, and they're all attached to something. See their structures? You see that they're attached to the structure? All of them, guys. Not just one, but you can see that they're light bulbs. I'm just going to take a few pictures of each star that make up the Orion cluster. And I'm going to show you that they're attached to something. That they are not hanging in free space, moving in free space, that they are attached to a track, and they are all light fixtures. And the whole cluster itself is part of a, looks like to me, the star systems are bases. That's what it looks like. Look how large they are. That's large enough to hide a bunch of people inside of it. Let me tell you something. It's huge. And that right there is weird looking. That looks like a face. See it? This whole thing is attached to a track, guys, that you can't see, that you've never been able to see, and that's why I'm here trying to tell you that there's a track above us, not very far up. If you want me to estimate how far that track cuts off the top of the dome, I'm going to tell you about 3 miles up or so. Maybe a little further, not much more. So you would have your building like this. Inside the building, you will have your circle. Okay, you will have your sides of your building, all 4, like that. And here's where all the stuff happens in the earth right here. The earth elevates itself from the outside south wall, which is ice now. It wasn't before, but it is ice now. And it elevates upwards towards the center of the earth. Everybody looks towards the north when you look at the sun. It's going like this, and you can't tell because of the position that you're on. But again, the sun itself is moving out on a track in the morning and will cover the whole earth by just moving in a circle, because we're situated like this. Here's US, here's Europe, here's Africa, here's Australia, here's Hawaii. So we're situated like that. So when we fly airplanes, all we do is go from Boston here, right? Or we can go to Ireland like that, just like that, straight up. And here is the center. That's how the earth is actually shaped, and that's why none of the puzzles fit when you look and you see the maps that they give you today, and then you have the flight patterns. None of them make sense because they're not flying down by the south wall. They're staying on the land, which is in the center part, which is the smartest thing to do. There's no reason to fly. Let's just put it this way. There's no reason to fly. Okay, here's the US, here's Europe. There's no reason to fly like that. Okay, when you can go straight over land. Okay, and these are flight patterns. You can see them all day long. Okay, even down here in South America, they go across the land. Okay, they don't shoot across here to Africa, because the reason why they don't do it is not because that they can't do it. It's because that they're lying about the actual positioning or positions of the continents. That's the problem. So they're the ones lying, so they have to keep lying. So everything that they show you on hard evidence on the computer or on these gauges or anything else like this, or any other map system, okay, or any other constellation system like Stellara or anything else, they will show you that the land masses, they have changed the positioning of the land masses, okay, and they have put them in position to where they want you to believe they are. So you have to believe that the flight patterns are what they tell you. But I'm here to tell you the flight patterns that you're watching on the flight simulators and all that stuff are just not real. They're not. The location of them aren't even real. The reason why the location aren't real, because what they're doing is putting them on there the way they want you to see it. But the reality is they're just flying straight across. Not to mention, if you're talking about a curvature of the earth, the airplanes themselves, and you can ask the pilot this, I don't know how. If you're a pilot, I just don't know how you don't understand this. Either that or you don't give a shit, one or the other, because all you're doing is flying in a straight line. If the earth was moving, okay, you would be flying past it. Understand that? So that doesn't make any sense. So there's one reason why you could say, well, that's proof right there that the earth's not moving. The only thing moving is the plane and the rest of the stuff above the earth, like the sun track and the projectors around it. If this isn't proof enough, I don't really know what to tell you. If you can't see that that's a light bulb, I don't know what to say to you. That's a light bulb. That's a light bulb. These are all lights. You see they're lights on an arm. You see that? It's just not your figment of your imagination. Your eyes do see, but your mind doesn't understand because you were taught differently. That's the only reason. That's what cognitive dissonance really is here. The truth about cognitive dissonance, it's happening because of what you were taught. Okay, the cognitive dissonance wouldn't even be there if you were taught the truth. It wouldn't matter. And you can see this thing. Look how long this thing is. See this thing? You can see it's up on the track right here. So the whole system itself has lights attached to it in the pattern that they tell you that the cloud clusters are, like the shapes of stuff, okay? Like Sagittarius and Libra and all the rest of these who, or like the lion or anything like that, that they have the dog or the Big Dipper or the Little Dip, whatever the hell the star system turns out to be, their lights attached to a track, okay? And the reason why the Earth looks like it's moving is because the light systems are moving around on a track and we're standing still. Have you heard the song R.E.M.? They say stand in the place where you will. The Earth isn't moving, guys. You think it's moving because you were taught it was moving. So now when you see something like this, your cognitive dissonance kicks in. Your eyes see the truth, but your mind does not believe it because you were taught differently. And that's all. That's it. It's not a big deal. You get over cognitive dissonance after a while when you continue to look at the truth and it doesn't add up to the science. You'll get over it real quick, trust me. If you're just tuning into this and you're just finding out that we live in a building and there's a track above us, well, I'm glad you're here. And I know it's hard for people to understand this who are just getting this information, because I have to tell you, we've been studying this so long now that it's second nature now. I can see the building is absolutely there. There's nothing to say to us that there is no building there. Every time we look at a picture, we can see the proof is absolutely right there in the pudding. We see it. Our eyes don't lie to us. So let's move on to some other pictures here. What else we got? All right, we're going into a tornado here, guys. This is a tornado that I picked off of the channel Reed Timmer, who's a guy who travels around the country, and I'm sure he works for them, for Google. And he gives you reports on all these things, these different things that happen, like the floods and all that. So he's always where the evil is, this guy Reed Timmer. He's always there, giving you special reports. So on this special report, he shows a cloud forming, and he's all excited because he thinks a tornado is coming down right now, which may be true, but the problem is he's looking at a machine, and you can see it closer there. There's your tornado, right? That's a machine, people. Okay? There's your tornado. That's a machine. You see the tools? Again, a tornado. And these are actual tools. And you can see here that this tool is shooting out something here, and there's a tool here. Okay? So they're just going to use these weather tools and these wind turbines just to make this. It's like 3 or 4 of them to go around in a circle. And it makes this tornado. Okay? And it creates it. Keep going. You can see them closer here. Take a good look at the spindles, at the wheels. These are like fans, gigantic fans, guys. Massive fans that hang out of the bottom of this thing. See the aerial here? This is a massive aerial over top the aerial. You can even see this here. You can see it's attached and it's got shit coming off of it. Look, check this out. It's got arms coming down. See it? Take a look at it. See that? There's a structure there, my friends. And it's not hovering in space. The way they're doing it is the track, like we talked about just a little while ago with the projectors. There's a track above us. Now, the existing track was like this. We believe the existing track to be like that. Okay? Now, that was what it would look like if you're looking straight down on top of it from the actual firmament. You look down and you'll see the actual track. It looks like one of your hibachi grills. Okay, so on there, all the star clusters, and they're moving around these tracks on different levels. Okay, now, I forgot what was going. Oh, the weather machines are coming from here. They're being printed from matter, right from the top of this thing, this carousel here that runs around. All right, they're shooting out from the track right here, and they're shooting the matter out with the rods and the structures. We watched that also. I did a few videos on that, showing how the weather is printed on these tracks, and the matter are adhering to the rods, and they're engraving like 4D printing, like engraving houses with machines and matter. No people, just the machines. And this is what's going on. We now build things in this world, and we can build whole cities. Whole cities if we have it set up with the engravers and the cranes. Okay? Now on here, these are arms that are hanging from platforms that they create above us. And the platforms could be square, they could be round, they could be triangle. It doesn't matter. When you see a cloud in the sky and you see a weird-ass cloud that looks like that, and it looks so symmetrical, you're like, what the hell is that? That's the platform that they're building above you with the matter and the rods that are connecting from this thing, the God's original fence, okay, to what they do is they connect to the fence with rods like that, and then they build their platform like this, okay, and then they hang down and they build their tools below that with matter, and they can replicate that and de-replicate that just as quick as they made it. They can de-replicate it back to the matter that was created. Believe it or not, the storm can go back up by de-replicating. So this whole machine will de-replicate as it's finished or as it moves down the track. So that's how the storms are. That's where they go, in other words. The storms will cross you, and when they're finished and they're dissipating, when the weatherman says the storms are dissipating, that means they're de-replicating. Okay, and these are machines again. All our weather right now is all machines. I don't know what it was in the past, but it's all machines. You can see the machines here. There's massive aerials on the horizon dropping below this thing. You can see it. More tools. And here's a shot of Popocatépetl, or one of those. Here's a shot of a Mexican, an Aztec pyramid. Sorry, it's like really cold out here this morning, guys. I'm outside again. It's so damn cold all the time up here in Baltimore. It's ridiculous. Today it's like 36 and windy, and it just feels like 18 or 10 degrees out here. It's so raw. So anyway, this is a pyramid in Mexico. So I took the shot. But in the back, you can start to see the track back here where the sun moves on. Okay, as you see it right there. See how it stands out really well when you pull it up. These aerials are just dropping off of a rooftop that's made on a platform. Look at the massive track, guys. Look at that. Do you see that? Where the platform fences or the sky fences are connected to? More pictures, more pictures. Tornado. Here's a shot of the sun with some arrows around it. These clouds, they look like clouds, and they're not. They're machines. They're on, and they're hanging from tracks. They're always hanging from tracks constantly. We'll get you some pictures. Hold on. Show you the tracks. These are just machines everywhere in the clouds. You can see faces in them. These are demonic entities transforming from manifested dust that they get out of the earth, which looks to be the blood of the Titans, the demons. It looks to be whatever they're digging out of these mountains, whenever God laid these giants to rest, they rested right here where we live, right on the ground we walk on. Okay, so when you see them in there digging in a volcano, they're not guys, and they are digging in the volcano. So when you see the volcano start to erupt, and you see the lava start to flow down the side of the hill, right? You think it's coming out of the volcano. It's not. It's actually coming from the actual aerials. And I know it's hard to believe, but I've watched it for 3 years now. They're dumping liquid fire, which is like some kind of metal, molten metal that's heated. It's got to be up to 10,000 degrees. And it's eating through all the building materials that we have here in these houses. It eats right straight through like a hole. Not to mention the mechanical structures are busting the roofs through, right? Pouring the shit down in there and controlling the fires around the houses like they did in California and everywhere else. There's a fire. Even these chemical bomb explosions have been happening because of this. And they're all aerials. And you can see here we have a whole aerial display going on in the sky. And what you look at, you see that's a weird, crazy sky with crazy shapes. But in reality, it's a big, gigantic, structured rod system that goes across the sky fence here that goes across us. And I forgot to show you what I wanted to show you. But if this is the building, right, and here's the dome, let's say the firmament or whatever, right, the sky fence cuts across like that. So it cuts it off straight. So when you look down, when you look at the horizon, you're really looking at, it's like a roof. You're looking down the roof like that, you see? How this part is farther away and this part is closer to you. So you're really looking at a flat surface here. And that horizon kind of screws you up a little bit, the way it runs away from you. So in other words, and you can even see it here, it's a flat surface. You see how it's all flat? It just looks like it's running away from you. It's all flat, it's the same elevation mostly all the way across. Okay? It does change elevations at times. But we showed you that the center of the Earth is actually elevated up. And that's why the sun track is on a mountain in the center. Okay? How do I know all this stuff? Well, if you know me, you know I've been studying long enough to know this. And I've just absolutely see what's going on in real time in videos and everything. We have pictures. And you can see how these horns right here, see these horns? See how they're horns? They blow matter out like that. See it? And structured rods come out of the matter itself. You can watch a couple videos previous to this one. It's right there. I showed it to you. And some of the pictured videos I got in the bottom here. Again, a massive machine up in the sky. These are tracks, guys. You see that? These are the sky fence right there that they stick to. These little ribs that people say they're magnetic energy or they're, I don't know. They'll make up anything, guys. Anything but the truth. The truth is you're picking up shots of the track is why these are doing this. Okay, that's why you're getting those lines. See them? They're the track, period, all day long. Looks like a planet, and it's moving on a track. See it? See how they're faking everything? You can see that is on a track. It's an object, not a planet. See it? The whole thing is a track. It's right there. Again, an object, not a planet. Check that out. See that? Now, people on the internet, the first thing they said about this when they saw it was, that's a planet. And I have to tell you, we're in a building, guys, and planets don't exist the way you think they do. The planets that exist inside this building are light fixtures, which I showed you on the Orion structure. So all your star structures have these bases that are connected to tracks that move around. There's probably people in there manning them and shit. I would assume there's demonic fucks in there manning them. There probably always has been. So if I take that picture, I show you that there's an arm right here. See the arm holding it right there. See that? All this stuff is structures, guys. That's a light right there. Okay. It looks to be an aerial forming off of that arm right there. Another picture of it, and another picture of the background that you can see. We don't have free space. It looks like the blue sky looks like free space, like it's endless, but it's not. What you're seeing is an LED reflection off of the top of this fence that they're hiding everything from. That's how they're hiding it, with this reflection. And here, check this out. You can see a guy, a man. There's a nose, and here's his beard right here. See it? See his eye patch? His eye. Check this out. Now watching him here, check that out. I drew his helmet on there. Now you see these guys always have the eye thing, the Google Eye glass thing. I don't know what that's for, but they have this thing over their eye, okay, all the time. When I see these giant heads of these demons moving through the sky, they're attached to a massive aerial, but they are part of the aerial. They are part of the actual formation of the aerial. So you're looking at real life transformers here. So your kids' cartoons are more real than school is. And it's kind of funny how we mind control children as they go into school. So your kids all day long will watch cartoons, right? And they'll see the truth, but don't understand it's the truth. They think it's cartoons and it's just not real because they were told that. And it's sick what they do to people. And then the child goes to school and they teach him all this stuff and he gets frustrated because he can't learn it. And then he's thinking, then he understands in life that the stuff that they taught him, right, was supposed to be the real information, but now we see it's the irony of it all. It's the irony. Like, their entertainment is reality, and our reality is entertainment, in other words. So, in other words, the kids are getting the information, don't even know it. The grown-ups don't even know it either. They think it's just a cartoon, but it's not. Everything they put out has symbolism in it and shows the truth. Whether it be pieces of it or not, it still shows it. There are real transformers. We're watching them. We've seen them now for 3 years. I've watched them form from matter, right out of a machine. So, you can believe it or you don't have to believe it. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to tell you the truth of what our reality is. Again, our reality is more real in the cartoon than it is in school. Or in real life. Especially the news, by the way. Alright, so you see what I'm talking about. These entities are moving with faces on them. These massive transformers. These aerials are transforming from entities into machines. And our people here on Earth are helping this out a hell of a lot, because they're the ones that are providing the matter for them. So, not to mention the rest of the structures. As you see right there is a gun that shoots rods out right there. See it? That's a rod gun right there. This is how they make it. You can see behind it there's a horn. Look at a horn behind it. See it? Spitting out another entity right out of it. This isn't a joke. This is serious shit. This is going on above us. Printing demons. Printing demons. Face matter. Look at the face on that shit. Look at the top of the structure of the sun projector. Look at all the structures that hang from the tracks. Look at all these. Their whole sky, every cloud in the sky has a structure in it. There's a fence right here. You see how they hang onto the fence? And you can see that chemtrail right there that people call chemtrail? It's not. It's a rod structure with a centipede on it that moves across the track, and it pulls a rod with it, a structure. So in other words, after it does this a few times, now you have a platform. You got me? And now you can take a sky fence and just do that with it. So there you have it. It's coming right out of the aerial right there. Look, the chemtrail is. See it? Right out of the gun. You're looking right at it. That's a chemtrail, guys. And you can see the horn right above it. Look at the horn right above it. The matter horn. Right above the nozzle, the pipe, where the rod gun comes from. Not to mention, on this structure, you can start to see already, on this line, that's the fence. They're making something right now. All these clouds look weird because they're creating structures underneath them and hiding them. The fence and the track goes all the way across in a circle. These are all aerials hanging off the fence. Okay? Face right there. You can see that face. See it? The aerial has a face on it. Okay? The front of it has a face, and then you have arms coming off of it, and wings or whatever the hell else is attached to it. So these are definitely demonic entities. Check that one out. Big face on the front, like wings hanging off. Again, more entities. Aerials, we call them. Again, you can't miss these. You see the faces on these entities? These aren't just faces. These are real. This is reality, guys. These son of a bitches are real. They're real breathing structures. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Well, you never heard of mechanical nature either, have you? Because the nature that you were taught in school doesn't exist. What does exist is the handiwork of God, which is mechanical. Okay? So the way they talk about it, there's another face right there. They're all over the place. They run these aerials in the front. Their faces are the ones that shoot out of the rods before they make them. So the face itself is like a placard with a rod hanging onto it. When they shoot matter on the rod and start to create the body of the demon. And these are aerials, guys. These are what's creating the fires and everything in our world. Every catastrophe that's weather related is coming from the sky fence, and they're printing the material to create the disaster. Whether it be fires, I don't even want to have to go through all this. It's everything. It's earthquakes, fires, snow. It's the whole gamut of weather and catastrophes. Okay? That was the original picture. That would be the demon and the entity and the structure. Behind the cloud, you see the matter that's engraving and being adhered to the rods. It structures it out. So you have to have a body of something to adhere to. Like in plaster, you have some kind of screen, you put the plaster on it, you have to have some kind of canvas to hold it, right? Everything has a structure. in this thing. Everything. Every piece of equipment in this firmament has a structure to it. So you're not seeing anything move freely and hover. Nothing's hovering. I don't see anything hovering. Even when you're using radio frequency, you're not really hovering. Okay? You're really pulling magnets back and forth is all you're really doing. And as you look at this. Look at that gun shooting that. Across. Look at that. Keep looking at these pictures because they're insane. Look at the structures here. Look at that, guys. Take a look at that. Structural rods. You see them right there. You see them? This is how we're building it. So we have our rod, which is like our chassis of our car. And then the material is being engraved onto it and creating what's the actual body of the vehicle. Let's put it that way. You can see that these are all structures. Look at that thing. What the hell's that? Look at this. Face right there. Every one of these aerials have a face on it. Every one of them. That's why you see faces all over the damn place in the sky. It's not just something you're seeing. Okay, now you have this. It looks like what? It looks like a UFO, doesn't it? But it's not. This here again is a platform. Remember, I told you it can be whatever shape you want. It could be a rectangle, square. It could be elongated. It could be ugly. It could be a rhombus. You ever know what a rhombus? It could be this. It could be a rhombus. Right? On an angle. A rhombus is sort of like a three-dimensional rectangle. But you don't see the other sides of it. It's just like this kind of in a pyramid type. So a rhombus could be moved around like that. So let's take a picture of the platform, and then the aerial you can see moving below it being produced from this platform right there off of that circled platform. Okay? You see it? It's lowering it down right there. And this platform is where all the construction is going on from the beginning, the initial construction of the aerials. So they do these platforms over top your area. That's why it gets cloudy, and that's why it rains, and that's why it looks like you have chemtrails, but you don't. You have rods that are being pulled with matter across, so we can make these. See these? Look at that. That's the structure underneath, right there. See this right here? See the structure? See it? There you go. Platform up top, aerial underneath. We have an circular aerial platform, and right here you have, where's the shot at? Here it is. So we have a plane shot of the moon here. I believe this is Luna's shot. I got this from someone that had Luna Bell's video. I don't know who had it, but this is a shot from Luna Bell. And this is a moon. Well, I don't even know if it's the moon. I really don't know what it is, but when we look at it closer, you can see, if you're really good with the pictures and your eyes really good, you can see the structures in there, right? You can see the lines in there if you're really good. As we go to the next step, we would do that, okay? So here's how I do it. I take it and I brighten the contrast. I brighten the color to pull out as much as I can, in other words. I want to see all the lines, right? And structures in there. You see how I did that? So now I see a structure in there. So now I can accentuate it. See how I got the structure? I just adjusted the color, brought it all the way up, and then adjusted the contrast. I'm looking for the structure. You see what I'm saying? You see it now. As I take the light down, you're going to see it. I'll pull it up, you can see it. You see the structure that's holding the light now? I don't even have to go any further. You can see that there's a structure holding it. See it? It's attached to that track right there. So we go further, I'll go to the next one and I get this. If I color it up a little bit and take the color out and darken, I get that. And then I come to here and that's what I'm getting. So what you're getting is the fence, the background structure, and this is hanging down from there. Okay, and it's moving across the track like that. And this is what all your star systems look like. And all your projectors, like your sun and your moon and everything, nothing sits in space and sits freely and is a round ball. Nothing. Not even the Earth. None of it. Everything, anything you were taught about a sphere is not true. It has nothing to do. A sphere can't even exist, really, unless it's on some kind of a string or something. There's no way. In a building, you You can't have free-moving planets. The building itself is smaller than what they're telling you, okay? But it's big as shit. But in reality, according to space and 93 million miles away, you're not even in the ballpark, okay? So if cartoons are real, and then you go to school and they teach them this, and you know this, people, because you've heard this even on the mainstream, that the sun is how many? Even the Weather Channel says it. I mean, they lie about everything on the Weather Channel. That's why we have a Weather Channel. You ever notice that they want to teach you everything on the Weather Channel? Yeah, they want to teach you everything because why? They're lying to you. They want to teach you something that isn't real, so when you do see something that's real, you start to experience that cognitive dissonance that we talk about, which is nothing more than being detached from reality because of someone else. So it's really your mind retrieving information that's not there. That's what it is. You're seeing it, but your mind can't retrieve the information to recall it. So what happens? People do different things. They'll make shit up. Your mind, you'll make things up in your mind if you can't decide what it is. So you'll just make it up. Here, I don't do that. I just look at it forever. And then finally I say, you know what? There's no way to make up a light structure hanging from a track. There's just no way to make it up. As we go further, there it is in black and white right here. There you go. So do you see the intricacies of all the structures that are up above us? They all look like this. They all... Look how intricate that is, guys. Do you think humans built this? Man. No way did humans build this. Because if this was to fall, I don't think humans can rebuild this. No, they can't. I don't think they can rebuild any of the track system that was already here. And as a matter of fact, how do we know that as you go higher up in the system here, up into the levels of this track and firmament, how do we know that they're not guarded by angels? How do we know that? We don't know that. I sure as hell see deities up there. So let me tell you something. I hear a lot of people say when I look up in the sky and I see a weird picture and it looks like Jesus, that's an angel. Guys, I want to tell you something. You can't see what they're showing you. They're not letting you see anything that's not above what they're showing you. So everything that they show you is not going to be from God. Okay? It may have existed and was built by God, but these angels are not of heavenly existence. They don't mingle with each other. Do you understand that? So in other words, when you see an angel and you say that's a holy angel from God, you better think twice, because what you're seeing and blind faith does not exist. Blind faith is the whole test here. It's not a test if I give you the answers and tell you to study. Is it really a test? It's not. What is it? It's regurgitating information. So if I don't tell you this exists, if I don't show you anything, and then I give you the scriptures to let you know that you're going to be seeing things that aren't what you think they are, you're never going to see it. Guys, if you think the angels from God are sitting above in that sky with these demons, you're wrong. They don't mingle together. I can find you scriptures that tell you that. I can show you scriptures in Enoch that say that these angels are separate from the angels of God. They're not the same. So when you're looking up in the sky and you're showing me a picture of Jesus, please recant that, because you're not seeing that until he comes. Okay? I'm going to tell you again. You're not going to see him until it's time. Got me? Now, if he happens to appear to you, that's between you and him and God. But we're not as a whole people going to see this in the sky. This is a deception. What's in front of you is blocking the reality of heaven. You have to understand this. If you don't understand this, you're going to be in deep shit if you keep listening to these people on YouTube who tell you that there's angels in the sky. Okay? Well, they're angels, all right, but they're not the ones that you think. They are the holy divers, right? Holy at once and dove down afterwards. The holy diver is a fallen angel. Keep going. I know I got more pictures of that. Alright. Go to the bottom. Well, maybe I don't have more pictures than that. Or so we exhausted all our pictures. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to show you all the pictures that I had. Okay. We're going to go here to giants. I'm going to take some pictures of the giants here. Now here in the star system, you're going to see as this is supposed to be like a comet or something. As you can see, there's people in it, and then there's something here and it's attached to something. Yeah, that's a picture showing you that everything above us is attached to a structure. These, I believe, are old ancient writings and pictures. That looks like an aerial, my friend. Look at it. Do you see the candle and the feather and the arms and the legs? Look at it. Does it not look like an aerial? Do they not? They do. Gigantic people, guys. Gigantic people. Still here. Guaranteed. I promise you there's an area where they're still here. Why do you think we can't go to the North Pole? Why do you think we can't go anywhere else? If you can't go there, that means they're hiding giants. Because why? They've been doing this forever. We now know that most of the part of this country, the center part north of it, was occupied by giants all the way up to 1811. We now know that. Because why? We have proof now that they've reset everything in 1811, that the geography changed, and we also have proof that the maps show that the giants existed on the map, not on the coast, because that's where the people were. There were real giants here, and the Bible says it again. I'll say it one more time. There were giants in those days and after. What do you think that means? That means now. Okay. I'm glad we're... You want to see how things got done? Check out the post this cat's holding in his arms. What the hell is that? It looks like an axe. It looks like a battle axe that he created from a tree. Look at it. Look how big it is. And then you have a picture of the giant right here, putting things on the firmament right there. You have Tartarians, which are massive guys, or barbarians. That's what a Tartarian is, a barbarian. A blood eater, blood sucker. That's what they're hiding. That's why they're hiding, Tartarians, because they were real people. They were blood suckers. I don't know about an empire, but the whole world, let's just face it, the people who were here before humans, and there were people here before humans, it's exactly right. Before humans. Say that again. Before humans. What does that mean? They weren't human. That's what I'm trying to get over to you. These people were abominations, man. Look at the massive cities that they controlled, and the energy was free, and there's the island of California up till 1790. Here's a flood here. You can see the proof of it back in 1860. See the mud that rose from the water? Why is there a lot of mud? Why? Because if you look now, the cities and the counties and the whole state, if you look now, where all the people are at, where they live at, where all the people are put in one spot, in all the states and cities, you notice that it's a concrete jungle now. Do you not notice that? I've been telling the mud flooders this. The reason why there was more mud than anything is because there was more dirt than concrete. I can promise you that. It had to play into it somehow. And there's some more pictures of the mud flood itself. People drawing pictures of people dying in huge, massive floods. And in this country, they don't tell you about it. In ancient Samaria, you see the sun god right here, and then you see the track right next to it, and you see wings on them. Okay? Modern day, in ancient Egypt, same difference, guys. Check this out. Here's a modern day wireless signal transmitter, and here's one right here from ancient Egypt. So don't tell me they didn't have the technology. Okay? The doorways. Why is it that big? Why are their doorways this large? Because there were people that large. Okay? Any other questions? Why would they build shit like that? Why the hell would you build something like that? You're not bringing in equipment. This is not just a wall separating a city, where everybody can pass through. Bring your wagons in, bring your horses. No, this is a house, a building that people lived in, existed. Look at it. It's huge. Why? Because they were big. That's why. See how big they were? Pictures up until... Guys, that picture has got to be from the 1800s. Do you see the size of these people? That's probably a smaller size version. Guys, there's people here now that are this big. They just call them freaks of nature. No, they're not freaks of nature. They're real people. Look at the size of these people. Okay, these guys and women here had to be somewhere around 5'6", 5'7". Look at the size of him. He's almost double that. That's 10 feet tall. Okay, and not to mention the top hat on him makes it even higher. Just look at the doors. Why do you build doors like this if you're not building them for people who need them? Is there any reason to do it? Why would you waste it? Why would you do that? Why would you cut that hole out if you didn't need it? Because you do need it. You did need it. People were that big when they built these buildings for them. This is all over the world. Every one of your cities has buildings like this. Just go downtown and look. Near the water, they're always there. That's where it started. Here you see giants consoling smaller people. That's not children, my friends. That's a man with a beard. Hello. Look at the size of this son of a gun. Look at this. Look at these titans, how big they were. Even the women were larger than the men, massive. So this is what they're hiding, all this. There's a picture from the 1900s. That guy was 9 feet tall at least. Look at her. You think this is a joke? You think this is Photoshopped or something, probably. I'm assuming. It's real deal shit, guys. These guys really exist still today. Do you see them? Mainstream doesn't want to talk about it because somebody will put two and two together and realize that they've been here forever. Look at the doors. Look at that door, guys. Come on. Look at the picture of this guy. They're chasing the giant. You barbarian, get out of here. Your kind are not allowed here anymore. Mainstream doesn't want to talk about you. You need to hide. Get in there. What a nightmare this was. And here we go. Look, there's some people in the water, right? Mermaids. If there were giants on the earth, right, here, understand there probably were people in the water too, okay? Understand that. How did they reprocreate when the flood came? They didn't all survive. I guarantee they all procreated from that, from mermaids and stuff like that. Look at the size of a molar of a giant, and this is a real molar. And notice the jagged edges of the teeth and how dark and yellow it was, probably from blood stain, okay? So that tells you that's a human molar. That human just eats bad. This one eats people. You see the difference? Some of the houses with the technology on it. Look at this. The hell is that? What is that horn right there? A resonating horn. Look, check this out. Electric back in when? 1800s? You see the top of the spire here? Look at this thing, guys. That is a signal transmitter like Tesla created. Okay? That's free energy. They're getting free energy. I don't know what happened afterwards. What the hell happened here? Looked like the building fell down or something. Check that out. These buildings are weird. You can see they have antennas on them. They're not just designs. These are real for real purpose. See that thing right there? I don't even know what that is, guys. I have no clue. What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? Is that a musket? Is that a gun? What the hell is that? It's insane looking. Look at this, guys. These towers were built for a reason. I'm telling you, they were built for a reason. There's a star fort in Baltimore, Fort Marshall. I don't know exactly where Fort Marshall is, but I think it's on the water down below the southern part. I think it's near Anne Arundel County. I think it's right there across. I think Fort Marshall is across from the Fort McHenry, on the other side of the water, right? I believe it's that, and I believe it's I'm not sure, but I believe Fort Marshall, the old Fort Marshall, the location to be at the Middle Branch in Maryland, right below Baltimore, right there in Anne Arundel County. So we have all those pictures, right? Then we have aerials from the 1800s, right here, okay? Real pictures, you can see the aerials right there. See the 1800 aerials up in the sky? These are real pictures from the 1800s, guys. There's a real picture from the 1800s. You can see the aerials in the sky. Right there, classic 1800 aerials. Not your father's arrows. Now look, in 1800, same thing. Look, if Jeff P. lived in the 1800s, he would say that's a TR-3B. Okay, that's how stupid it is. These people are. They give you like a piece. Look at this. That's like a demon in the sky. Check it out. It's insane looking. So the old photographers, the old pictures and video and film were exposing these demons more than anything. They had to change shit. They had to. Real pictures of you can see the sky right here. Check it out. See the real pictures of it? Look at that. You can see the real pictures here I was showing you, and you can accentuate them. You can see the demons. You can see the arrows right there. Remember, this is 1800. So the resets, there's proof that the resets happened with the machines the same way they're happening now. So along with all the census and everything that's counting down to the end here, it looks that way. They want to know how many people to kill, how many cities to destroy, what to destroy, where to destroy them, how many to bring in from other countries. So it looks to me like we're going through it again. Looks like our country's being destroyed, and the people in it, right? They're done with us. They're done with us, and they're ready for a new cast of people. Just like they always do in TV. They do it the same way. Throw out the old, bring in the new. Bring in the young, train them the same way. So what do? We kill 3 million Americans and bring in 3 million Pakistanis. Put them in developments in Virginia. Give them money to get them on their feet. And then we start a whole world where everybody's on welfare. Basically. Pretty much. As long as... I think that's what... They would rather you be on welfare than to be on your own. They love that you provide money for the system. They love that. But it doesn't matter, because even on welfare, you're still going to put money back into the system. Because on welfare now, they designate what you can spend the money on, right? Because they knew people were buying drugs and selling them and making money off of it. That's what they did. Let's be honest. In the poor neighborhoods, you were taking your welfare check, buying cocaine, and making $3,000 off of it. If you weren't, then you were just a junkie. And if you weren't, you were trying to get by, but you were still spending your money on the same shit that they wanted you to eat, which was all fake food. So you really, when you depend on the government, they don't care. They really want you to in masses. That's what the new world's going to be about. We'll all depend on the government to provide everything for us. Just fall in the line and do the things that we tell you. That's it. That's all. And for God's sake, get rid of the Bibles, will you? In the new world. We don't need God. You're not going to need God in that new world. I'm going to tell you right now, because God will be gone. That'll be the end of that. You won't even be seeing God anymore. I believe this is it. I believe we are at the end here. How much more can God take? How much more can God handle? How much more is he going to deal with? How much more is he going to allow it to go? How much further, or how many more times are they going to kill people innocently and put new people in there and then re-kill them too? How many times are we going to restock the country and change it with people? That's what we're doing. That's why they won't tell you about history, because they're destroying the country every 200 years and bringing people over. And here we go again. We already got proof that they're bringing people over. We know this. I've been saying it for a long time, that the churches down there in Virginia are all connected here to D.C., and all these Islamic people are just gathering around it. Like it's like they're circling the wagons down there in D.C. You know? It's like they're just circling us. Like they're just ready to take over. So, what's going to happen with this country? I don't know. It doesn't look like it's going to be the same, so geography may change also. People are going to die like they always do. I wouldn't worry about it too much, guys, because our generation, I believe, was put here for one reason only, is to protest the faith in the Word of God that was real, that no one knows about, especially the children that are growing up today. I know this because my mom and dad were instilled values into you, and they made sure that you treated people with respect. And I know all your old school mom and dads from the 50s and 60s, the 40s. They're all gone, most of them, but you know they instilled the respect and values in you that you have today. What? To make you the person that you are today that can see this. Right? They would have saw it. They knew it was coming. Maybe not in so many details, but they did. They understood. And my mom understood. When she passed away, she told me. She said, you're going to be dealing with some really tough shit. She said, stay tough. Hunker down. Keep God in your life. And understand that you're protected from anything that you think can harm you. If you were told it can harm you, then you were lying to you. Because nothing can harm the power of God. It just can't. So people understand you're protected from this. Were the people all... Did this happen before? I don't know. Did God take people before? I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know that. We really don't know that. I don't have any information on that. We don't know a lot of things. But I can assume if people were killed in millions, I assume Jesus and God took some of these people beforehand. Whether that means they passed away first before they suffered, or whether they came down and took them. I don't know that, and neither do you. But I can tell you this. The Bible it clearly states that this will happen. If it didn't happen already, it will happen again. So we're back again at the drawing board. Again, here we are. We're seeing the signs. And when they say the signs, this had to have happened before. People had to have seen these signs coming before and knew the reset was coming. So, what's going to happen? We don't know. But there are symbolisms here. Lots of them. It looks to me like they could do this again. If they did it in 1811, what makes you think they won't do it in 2019? What? Nothing. What makes you feel they won't do that? I don't know. Because you know why? I believe they will. If they're hiding it from 1800s and 1860s, there was massive catastrophes that they're hiding that just changed everything. And how the hell if you lost all these people in 1860, how did you keep filling up the United States like it didn't miss a beat? Is another question, because the population just kept going up. Those numbers have to be wrong. Either that or you killed 20 million people and then brought 20 million from Europe. Either way. Well, it's like this is like a trial country for these idiots over here in Britain. Hey, that's all it is. Every so often they destroy it and fix it up and do it the way they want it. Technology, the whole 9 yards, man. They finally figured out that people will suck the tit of the government all the way to the grave. They did. And they're just going to take that and ride you into technology where they're going to control everything. And you're just going to bow down to it because why? It's happening now. All right, guys. Good talk today. God bless. Chris Archer here, just throwing it down for you, like I always do. Just laying it out there the way I see it, guys. Y'all have a good day. God bless. And remember, there is, again, and I'm going to say this 100 times because Jesus Christ is the only way out of this. This is true back then. This is true now. This was true back when Paul was alive. This is true when the apostles were. People, this is the truth. He is the truth. It's the only way to protect yourself from this nasty, miserable shit that's being put upon us all the time. It's the only way. God bless you all. And keep Jesus Christ close to your heart. All right? Guys, have a good day. And we'll talk to you soon.